from a physicist standpoint, you understand the idea of packets of energy? That's a physicist term for it. Photonic luminescence, packets of energy. You have a radiance of life force around you, each person does. When you come into the presence of a Kundalini awakened person, the radiance of the Kundalini will slam in to the packets of energy that you have around your system and force it to spin faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay. And as that occurs, your relationship to your life force changes. And you expand a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And you can begin a refinement process into the Kundalini. Typically, the Kundalini within the awakened person knows how its energy is affecting you. And if it is not your time, it will not touch you. It will not touch you. If there is any way that you can have and hold this in a healthy venue, then it will touch you without hesitation.
So you can read people and know if it will touch them or not?
A person can. I won't say that I, Master Chrism, am looking into your soul and experiencing your, all of it. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that a person can do that. If you have Kundalini awakened in you, you can do it. If she has Kundalini awakened in her, which she does, she can do it. Charles can do it. Sarkis can do it. Tony can do it. Bradley can do it. A person can, yes. You can do that. Anybody can do that. Anybody with a spine and Kundalini awakened within that spine can do that. It is an exalted skill, to be sure. And with great exaltation comes great responsibility. This can go south on you very quickly if you use it in a very destructive or hurtful way. Once again, that is taking something that is very refined and subverting it into something that is very unrefined. And when you take a high level of power or high level of divine expression, and then you try to subvert it, well, you're going to pay the consequences for that subversion. Remember, it's conscious. It knows what it's doing. The most benign response would be nothing would work. It's like, oh, try to do it. It's nothing works. So it's basically telling you, no. Don't do this with this. Not appropriate.
Will it naturally heal physical ailments
Sure.
or burn off entities?
In a burn off entities, no.
No.
What it will do with entities is it will begin a process of maturation of the individual who's seeing an entity. The whole entity phenomena is a very large phenomenon. I mean, by that I mean there's a very large reason for a person having entities, a very large teaching for the person with regard to having entities. Most of the entity-based experiences are a fear test, testing the fear levels of the individual. The Kundalini will come up, and in many of the cultures they understand, oh, Kundalini is building the divine temple within me. My God, I've been so blessed. Okay? And well, one of the first things that the divine temple has to realize is divinity will not allow specific frequencies of fear to exist within the structure of that platform. So the very first thing that gets cleared out of that human body is fear. And so what are they, well, geez, what do we need to do for her? And I'm just, I'm role playing here, the Shakti and the Shiva, they're kind of going, oh, we got the divine child here, she's doing pretty well. Interacting with people very well. She's got a nice refinement process going, but she's got these fears. Honey, what do you want to do? Oh, geez, dear, I don't know. She hates spiders, and that's one of my manifestations. I know she hates snakes too, and you like that one as well. Let's give her some snakes and spiders, but just in the dream state. But we'll let her know that it's not really a dream, because when she wakes up, she'll still see that giant spider going back. She'll be wide awake, and she'll be going, oh! Let's see what she does. Go. Okay? And anything from, I can't tell you the things that I've seen. A lot of them are multipeds. Typically, the indicator species that is used to elicit fear testing for the human being will be the snake, the spider, the tiger. These are all top of the line species, the praying mantis, the wasp, the bee. What these species indicate is they are top of the food chain for their specific expression in their species. You know, in other words, they feed off other animals. They are the top, like a great white shark, you know, or an orca. When the person sees these or sees entities that are based upon those types of scenarios, one can know that, oh, okay. This is a fear test. I don't need to be afraid of this. I want to welcome this. And that is what I teach people to do. You welcome that. When the giant cobra, the 20-foot cobra comes in and looks at you and the tongue is flicking out and the eyes are red and the fangs are there, she's creeping up on you and you're standing there and she just bounces on you. You're to invite that. Because what are you showing when that occurs?
Fearlessness.
Fearlessness. And that is the goal. You'll never experience that scenario again, ever, except through your memory of the experience. Okay? And if you're receiving like entities, ETs, or ghosts, or demigods of a mythological based system, once again. Now, first of all, some of these things are real. Some of these things are real, but they're being used by a divine force. And they may not even know they're being used. One of the few species that can do the Kundalini is the human being. Not everybody gets this. This is you're being transformed into a walking, talking holy grail. Okay? And in order to do that, you have to go through a series of refinement that will eradicate fear from your system. And those things, those entities, those griffins, those centaurs, what's that weird one? The minotaurs, the snakes, the spiders. I've seen them all. Giant ones. You will have to deal with them in a very positive and fearless based level. Or they'll just keep coming back. And they'll multiply. Other ways of testing that include entities is some of the basic grudges and anger-based systems that a person has. For the longest time for me, I didn't want to go to sleep. I did not want to go to sleep because I knew every time I'd go to sleep, I'd go straight to a place called hell. And I did. You know, my parents are being tortured in the middle of the street and I'm not allowed to do anything, and you know, these little entities do this or that, really terrible, mean things. And every night, until I started getting bored with it. And then one day, the threshold for me was, they spelled universal wrong on one of the street signs. It's like, you can't even spell? That's it. I'm done. Boom. Never went there again. That was just a thing for me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a great speller either, but come on, universal, S-A-L, or S-O-L, I forget. It just irritated me so much that the irritation obliterated my fear. And once the fear was gone, there was no need for me to be there. And so, you know, no aspect of your life will not be open to visitation. If you've had a bad stepfather, stepmother, if you've been raped or mutilated as a child, if, you know, whatever the terrible, terrible thing that has been done to you, Kundalini will revisit that and expect you to, okay, now she's not mean. It's not mean about it, but it's going to, you know, a Kundalini child needs to experience this so that we can continue to build this divine platform. And so you will experience it. And you'll experience it over and over and over again in separate ways, different ways, until you get it right. It took me years to get irritated with the universal being misspelled. And all these different weird scenarios, you know, of hurtful interaction with people. And, but once I got through that stage, I've never been back, ever. Some people, through karma, have to stay there for a while. Yes?
So I get the impression there's a certain methodology, there's certain techniques to awaken this Kundalini, and there's also benefits as well.
Extreme benefits, extreme.
Such
Health and longevity. I don't know, I mean, if you had the experience of an exalted skill, like clairvoyance, clairseeing, the ability to see into a patient, the ability to see a cancer, the ability to work with the energy of a person to discontinue the growth of a specific cancer or a specific immunological dysfunctional one, especially those of an artificial-based creative source. So you look at AIDS, or you look at different levels of herpes, and you can definitely interrupt that life pattern within that person. Definitely, without a doubt. And it's not...
by having a Kundalini awakened.
No, by having Kundalini awakened within you and applying those skills for the benefit of another person. The awakening itself does not denote immediate grasping of exalted skill levels.
Right.
You have to earn those within the community.
Part of the refinement.
Right, thank you. Very good, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The health, the energetic levels, the cognitive levels. The cognitive levels just go off the charts. In our society, we are typically, we're a book-based society, okay? Turn it this way. We're a book-based society. So we read our books and we read our books and we go, okay, chapter 4 was, okay, got that, you know. With Kundalini, no books are needed. You are given a language and you know it intuitively, just like that. You know, yeah, I know, I can see that expression on your face.
Wait, you know every language?
No. You're given knowledge that you haven't, quote unquote, studied. You're given knowledge about a specific situation that precludes your having studied that situation at all. It's called knowingness. You are given high levels of knowingness for the benefit of the person that you're helping. Typically not for your own personal aggrandizement.
Can you modulate it at all? I mean, are you seeing all the
You can-
entities in the room, and is that a distraction
No,
for you?
No. That's a very, very good question. Yes. When you've surrendered enough and you've really, you're not working against it anymore, you're working with it. And it knows that I am working with people right now. Of course, as soon as I say I'm not going to see an entity, I will see an entity. That's how that works. A lot of stuff can be filtered out of your perception if you don't need to have it. I am at one with all the